Bluey is a fantastic TV series that appeals to all ages with its joyful and educational episodes. Although the episodes are fun to watch, there are some animation mistakes that catch our attention. If you're ready, let's go and take a look at them. But before we begin, I would like to say that the intention of this video is to enjoy the details I've found, not to criticize the cartoon. We're starting with the first animation mistake from one of the latest minisodes, Brown Bear. At the beginning of the episode, Bluey and Bingo are playing with dough. Bandit touches them one by one and then touches Chili. Later, he acts as if he didn't touch anyone. During these events, the scene changes and we spot a small animation mistake. Do you see the cup holding two plants? It changes its position.
Whoa, that looks great, girls.
Thanks. Huh? Dad!
What?
We continue with another minisode, Drums. Bingo, Bluey, and Chili are in a music shop. In the background, we see guitars and other musical instruments hanging on the wall. In the first sequence, take a close look at the speakers and the seat behind Bingo. While Chili and Bluey talk to the shopkeeper, Bingo decides to play the drums. Behind her, you'll notice that the speakers and the seat change position. Another animation mistake is in the new mini-sode Phony. After a long day, Bingo, Bluey, and Chili walk to the couch. They want to take a nap and listen to relaxing music. In this short scene, there are several animation mistakes. First, there should have been a picture of Bluey on the wall, but in the next scene, it disappears. Along with that, the pillow on the couch is replaced without anyone touching it. The cactus on the bookshelf also changes size, becoming smaller in the next shot. Additionally, the speaker on the table turns 90 degrees without anyone touching it.
Hey, Fanny, play some metal.
Okay, now playing metal.
Another mistake occurs in the episode Chess. In this episode, Bandit teaches the girls how to play chess, but the girls are not very fond of the game and try to turn it into something they enjoy. We see Bluey's paper and pastel crayons on the table. When the episode's title card appears on the screen and then returns to Bandit, Bluey, and Bingo, we see that the paper and the pastel crayons have disappeared. The next animation mistake is in the episode Magic. Before Bluey and Bingo come up with the idea of creating a game where they pretend to have magical powers, we see them in their room. In the background, there's a balcony, and on the ground, there is only one leaf. But when the scene changes, another leaf appears on the ground out of nowhere. This isn't the only mistake in the episode. Bluey and Bingo decide to use their magic on their father, Bandit. As they approach him, Bandit and Pat are arranging the garden. Behind them, there are remnants of soil. But when the scene changes, they disappear, only to reappear later. But the animation mistakes in this episode aren't finished yet. After Bluey and Bingo come across their mother, they decide to use magic on her too. Bluey orders her mom to go to the living room. When Chili enters, notice how the pillow on the couch is positioned. In the next scene, it changes. After a while, Chili gains control of the magic powers and uses them on Bluey. In that scene, the pillow changes position once again. When Bluey regains control of the magic, she manipulates Chili. Chili falls to the ground, and we see papers and colorful crayons scattered around her. In the next scene, all the crayons and one of the papers are gone. After Chili gets up and Bingo comes near her, the scattered crayons are together, and the paper that was gone is back. The next animation mistake is in the episode Sheepdog. Bandit turns into a sheep. However, he becomes uncontrollable and enters his neighbor Wendy's garden, attacking the clothes, which makes Wendy very angry. Bluey and Bingo try to calm Bandit down and leave the garden. During the scene changes, the dress that had fallen to the ground suddenly disappears. This episode has another animation mistake. Since Bandit is a sheep now, he needs to act like one, which includes eating grass. Bingo wants him to eat and swallow the grass, which Bandit does. But when Bandit takes the grass from Bingo's hand, her hand disappears. For the next animation mistake, I bring you to one of the newest episodes of Bluey, The Sign. In the kindergarten, Bluey's teacher, Miss Calypso, is telling a story to the children. During the scene, we see the little dogs sitting next to each other. Later, when the scene shifts, we see Rusty talking. If you compare this to the previous scene, you'll notice that both Jack and Winton are positioned incorrectly. In the first sequence, Jack is almost in line with the terriers, and Winton is in front of that line. However, in the next scene, Jack is closer to Rusty, and Winton is in Jack's position. Another animation mistake in this episode happens when Bluey gets into the car and learns that their house is going to be sold. In the first scene, when Bluey expresses her disappointment, we see the release button on the seat. But when the scene zooms out and Bandit tries to improve Chili's mood, the release button disappears. The next animation mistake in the same episode happens when Frisky gets mad at Uncle Radley and decides to cancel the wedding ceremony. She escapes to take some time alone. Later, Bluey, Bingo, Chili, and others find Frisky to convince her not to cancel the wedding. When the scene zooms out, we see a bench with a dog sitting on it, probably eating something. Later, when Bluey, Frisky, and Chili are alone, the scene zooms out again, and this time, both the bench and the dog are gone. The final animation mistake in the Sign episode happens when Bluey listens to an audio recording in front of her house. This one is pretty cliche, but there's a problem with the headphones. Bluey should be wearing earbuds instead of headphones since her ears are on top of her head, unlike a human's. So although she could still hear the audio, it's probably not at full capacity. In the episode Puppets, Bandit uses a unicorn puppet that falls in love with Chili. After seeing her, he gets ready to talk to her. Meanwhile, she approaches Bluey, and they have a conversation. If you look closely while he's speaking, you'll notice that the unicorn's beard detaches from his chin.
Well, you gave it a good shot. Now, I think you best be getting off.
No, don't stop!
These were all the animation mistakes for this video. Which one is your favorite? And which one did you recognize before I pointed it out? Write in the comments. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video so you won't miss future videos like this. See you!
Ready? Go!
Hey, Phony, play relaxing music.
Okay.